tonight's episode of Eric Mintel Investigates, the team travels to Frenchtown, New Jersey to investigate the National Hotel. While on the investigation, Dominic tunes into an otherworldly presence that turns the investigation upside down on tonight's episode, the history and mystery of the National Hotel. My name is Eric Mintel. By night, I'm a professional jazz musician. But by even later at night, I investigate the paranormal. I, along with my team at Eric Mintel Investigates, travel the country, investigating all things paranormal. This is Eric Mintel Investigates.
Welcome to the National Hotel, a hotel that remained virtually unchanged since 1850. Also a hotel that was very, very integral to supply of the Civil War. We're going to investigate the history and mysteries of this incredible hotel right here in Frenchtown, New Jersey on Eric Mintel Investigates.
Originally built in 1839, the National Hotel in Frenchtown, New Jersey, owned now by Carol Lynn, has been transformed into a cozy, Asian-inspired gathering spot offering a warm, inviting atmosphere perfect for the local community. The rooms are immaculate, offering comfortable accommodations, while the food is impeccable, reflecting Kara's unique touch. The bar offers a wide variety of drinks, making it a lively spot for visitors and locals alike. Open 6 days a week, it has become a beloved venue in Frenchtown, blending hospitality with a stylish ambiance. Eric Mintel Investigates was brought in to uncover some long-standing mysteries associated with the National Hotel. Our investigation began in the bar area. As soon as we entered, spirit medium Dominic Sittel tuned in on an otherworldly entity that never left the building. Having known nothing about the history of the National Hotel, Dominic kept getting pulled to the middle of the bar area. As with every case, a story begins to unfold, and it begins to unfold right here in the bar.
I'm getting the woman in a red dress. It's very frilly, but it's not concealing. Darker hair, kind of curly. This was her area. She was, like I said before, she was the favorite girl, and I used this because the guys really liked her.
This used to be a brothel.
I said earlier, I said prostitute, but brothel would be the terminology used for that time period.
So no sooner does Dom get here, he's already tuning in on a woman in this bar area. He said brothel, and I didn't say anything. There was nothing online about this, but this used to be a brothel. Could that be one of the women that was here?
This place was a hub of patrons coming in and out.
But it goes back to the Civil War, man. I mean, that's the other thing.
But here's the thing, I don't see a lot of women in here.
Oh, okay.
Except for the ones that work here.
Oh, okay.
Women aren't coming into this place. They're standing outside away
So
from
wait,
it.
they're already here?
They're already here. When I would drive by here, the front of this building, it would always say to me, a lot of people, like a campaign trail for president or something like that. And this is just confirming my visions that I was getting before. This absolutely looks like it could be for 4th of July, but that's like the presidential seal right there.
Let's go up to the second floor. Maybe, I think there's one guest in here, but I think we're okay.
Okay.
But we're not going to open that door, but let's go upstairs and see what you can tune in on up
All right.
there, okay? All right.
Sounds
cool.
like fun.
All right, cool. We're here in Frenchtown, New Jersey, investigating the National Hotel.
Eric?
Andy Kinn, how are you? WDVR. You'll never know who you're going to see.
Eric!
Dom,
how you doing?
how the hell are you?
I'm doing good.
I haven't seen you, man.
Oh my God, where have I been?
Dom was investigating a Bigfoot sighting up in Lake Placid.
Yes, I was.
How was it? What happened?
There was a Bigfoot.
It was you. There were reports of a naked, hairy man in the woods at Lake Placid. That was you. Now, there's guests in 206.
Yeah,
I think there's someone in that room too.
there's definitely somebody in that room.
I was told some info, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let you tune in.
.204. That's the room I'm getting.
From the girl.
Yeah.
About the girl. The girl that lived here.
Mm-hmm.
Or the favorite girl was in this room.
Favorite girl.
I want to see if I can get that guy to open it up for us.
You can try.
Yeah, let's do it. Great, thank you.
Keep in mind I told Dominic nothing about this venue. He continues to see the spirit of a woman.
Yeah, this was her room.
Mm.
This was the cooler room. Because the sun would come up on that side, and she liked the cooler at night. It was darker until the afternoon, and that's when she would get up.
Well, guess what? It's the afternoon.
Exactly. The woman I was feeling, this was her room, but it's west facing. The heat in the morning from the sun wouldn't bake this room. On top of that, the sun wouldn't really come in till later on in the afternoon, and she would be sleeping until then because she had to go to work in the afternoon. So this was her favorite room. Would get a very good breeze. This was much better for her. She liked this more.
Here we are on the second floor. No sooner do we get up here, this room, 204, is calling to Dom. He's sensing this woman who used to live in this room. I know a historian that we could talk to that probably would know.
Outside on the porch, we wrapped our heads around the investigation so far.
You were tuning in on stuff that was amazing, man. I mean, it was like, you know, the woman upstairs, the woman in the bar.
Like I said before, I've driven by this place and I always see entities on the porch hanging out, but never was in the place. Now that I went in there, that woman was right there.
We got to talk to the guy, Chuck, who's the historian. And I think he's going to give us a little bit more insight into, you know, what you're feeling, what some of the history that I know of.
There's a lot more here that we haven't even tapped into. So I think talking to Chuck is a good idea.
We were told Chuck arrived and was waiting for us up on the second floor.
Hi, I'm Chuck Sherrick. I've become very familiar with the local history here in Frenchtown, but I don't want to step on the toes of the guys who really know in detail what's going on.
All right, so Chuck, this is the room that I want to call her the Madam. That's what's coming in right now is the Madam. I mean, at the age of the building.
And the traffic that it's had.
And there's been a lot of influential people, like I said, that came through here. You know, I still have that image of the president or somebody coming here. I don't know why. It's just they're showing me that image.
I would think Whistle Stop, they might have come for lunch. Who knows?
If they're traveling from New York to Philadelphia, they could have come down this way. You know, I'm trying to figure out when this was the brothel, what years.
The original building on this site was a hotel, a Stagecoach Flophouse. I have to believe that men were bringing women in off the street before it officially became a brothel. And then in 1850, with the coming of the railroad, that's when they built the building in its current form.
So Chuck just told us some incredible information. I mean, there was a very vibrant canal community here. Having people like Chuck on these videos and having him confirm some of the local lore is really important. We've got a lot more work to do, so stay tuned. When we met briefly, you felt something. When we left the next day, you spent the night.
We walked by 204, just felt that weird thing, and I really only felt it once before a long time ago, and I just got this notion that there's more to this place than meets the eye. Well, and there certainly is. It's got an enormous history.
The fact that Chuck was feeling energy by room 204 confirms the fact of what Dominic was feeling earlier.
204, that's the room I'm getting.
From the girl.
Yeah.
About the girl that lived here.
Mm-hmm. The canal on the far side is where people got their supplies and their goods. That's why the bridge was built to nowhere in Pennsylvania. At the time, it wasn't nowhere. It was Eulerstown, and there was a small store there, and the canal was there. That's how things came if they weren't coming by wagon. As soon as the railroad was up and running, the canal was finished. A lot of conflict. But when the railroad came in, a ship could land in Philly, a ship could land in New York, and by nightfall, they could have taken the train to Trenton. A few stops north of Trenton is Frenchtown.
Next, we went to the third floor to see if Dominic could tune in on any other spirits up in that area.
What are you sensing? Because I know you're kind of I see your head's on a swivel here.
Yeah, what I'm getting from up here, this is for the girls that didn't produce enough money. This was the hottest part of the hotel. There was a barn somewhere around here. I'm not.
Well, we should go outside and check it out too.
Yeah.
This was a very vibrant canal, territory here.
So let's go check out the property.
Yeah.
And see what I can sense outside.
As we walked outside, Dominic was being pulled to the back of the hotel.
So you're saying there may have been a barn. I'm wondering
Well,
if
there was a barn
back
because they
here.
had to house the horses.
Right. You know, I wonder if this was the barn. I wonder if this could have been part of it somehow.
I'm wondering.
You know?
It would make sense.
Well, I think we got to let it get a little bit more darker because I really want you to tune in on that entity that's in there, because I think we should break out the magnetometer right now and try to go through there and see what's going on.
Absolutely.
He's got a helicopter on his head.
The shadows of the late afternoon signaled for us to begin the investigation.
Where you're sensing that woman is right here.
She's right here.
This is right under
And then
here.
this is where that
where the tunnel
goes
is.
out, the tunnel.
That we're calling a tunnel. We don't really
Yeah.
know if it's a tunnel yet.
Dominic and I decided to head to the basement to the Rathskeller bar to see what else we could find. We'll be right back. We're in Frenchtown, New Jersey, investigating the National Hotel.
What are you sensing here?
The Underground Railroad.
You still looking for the tunnel?
Yeah, it's really strong up in this older section.
So we're down here in the Rathskeller. Now this is a beautiful bar area down here, but Dom is sensing some kind of Underground Railroad activity here.
Right now, I'm getting we're heading in the right direction. I'm getting there's another part of the basement we're not seeing. It's somewhere. Where's it at? Follow me, Tom.
As we walked further back into this undiscovered part of the basement, Dom found what he was looking for.
There you go, Eric.
Is that it? Ah.
Let me get out of your way, Tom. You'll see some old beams in there.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Tom.
There you go.
This is what I'm sensing. Part of the basement we couldn't get to.
Check out, there's a door there, man. Looks like there's a door right there.
Yeah. That's what I was picking up.
So you were right.
I was telling you, I was feeling another room that we didn't have access to. That back there, there's a door back there.
Right.
That's the room we don't have access to. That is part, they're screaming at me saying, underground tunnel.
Wow. Are you picking up on any names or anything like that?
I'm not picking up names. I'm definitely picking up people.
This is a point Chuck alluded to earlier.
I expect there was conflict between the two groups, the railroad workers and the boatmen, who knew that their days were numbered.
They're hiding here. They're going onto the boats on the canal and moving up, but they're laying in the bottom of the boat.
Wow. You know, I wonder, could we get back there? Let me use my camera on my phone and see if we can get any warps.
Yeah, I would.
Let's try it. Let's go. Let's go
right.
check it out. Let's try it again.
Tom follows me.
Okay.
This is the bar we were just in. And when we walked into this room, I was saying to Eric, we're heading in the right direction. This wall straight ahead is where that tunnel is. It's in there because it's the tunnels behind the wall. So let's go follow Eric and see if we can get some orbs.
Although we didn't get any orbs, this new discovery of this possible underground tunnel warranted further investigation. We walked down to the bridge in Frenchtown and wrapped our heads around the investigation.
So, Dom, I mean, right here is Delaware.
We're crossing it right now.
It stands to reason why the hotel is only like what, 2.5 blocks away.
If that, yeah. This is where the boats would come in. This is where they would moor,
Yep.
so that they could get people on and off.
Oh yeah, totally.
So-
Well, it stands to reason, man. I mean, you know, and we're so close, you know.
Oh,
so it's
absolutely.
amazing. But the minute you stepped into this place, the only
It hit me.
thing that I did know was what you tuned in on.
Okay. Yeah, and,
So that
and
was
right
like
away,
amazing, right away.
it hit me. And again, you know, the room downstairs that we didn't have access to, I knew there was more to it.
Right.
To me, it's a tunnel. They're telling me it's a tunnel. Only one way we're going to find out is investigate it.
Yeah.
It was getting late, so we decided to go back to the hotel and wrap up the investigation.
Kara, I want to thank you so much for inviting us to the hotel and for believing in us. And you have got some incredible history here. So we can't wait to show this video. So thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. I can't wait for the video.
Ah, yeah.
Thank you.
So, guys, I'm so glad that we got a chance to get together tonight. I know, Chuck, thank you so much for being here. I know you're kind of like being the representative for Kara because she is so busy, and we usually like to recap with the owners, but to have her find like 5-10 minutes to do that is impossible. So I'm glad that you're able to do that tonight.
Yeah, I'll fill it for her, you know.
Just to recap a little bit, Chuck, you were really instrumental in a lot of the historic aspects of the inn, that we investigated. But you and Dominic both, and I'm going to let Dominic talk about this too, you both felt this weird energy upstairs in 204. So maybe, Dom, talk about that a little bit as far as that goes.
Room 204 is where the madam of the brothel lived. That was her room. So I was feeling her presence up in that room. That was her room, and that's where she, besides being in the bar, that's where she was at.
And Chuck, when you were there and you walked by that room, you felt some kind of weird presence too, right?
Yeah, and I remember at the time I was focused on a story I was working on that was going to take place there. I thought it was coming from 205, and I was focused on 205 to the extent that I spent a night there. And but you know what? Yeah, it was quiet night, felt nothing else. So I think Dom's on it. It probably 204.
Yeah.
When we went into 204, the only thing that I really felt was that I didn't like the room. There may be a reason, and I spend time on it, it may come out. And maybe it is.
And then in the bar area, as soon as Dom walked in, you were feeling the presence of that woman right away.
Oh yeah, she was in the back towards the dining room area, and she was right there. I mean, just her presence was super strong. Standing at the bar, how she was dressed and what she looked like, that just told me flat out what she was there for.
Chuck, what happens here too is Dom usually gets a lot of these pictures and stuff on the way to these investigations. And I never, you and I talked, and Dom wasn't even around. I mean, you weren't even there that day. We were talking on the back porch there.
Yeah, we had a good conversation there.
Yeah, that was great. And that was great. And that's why it's always important to talk to the folks that are frequenting the restaurant, the inn, because you're going to get a firsthand look at what is really going on there.
The original building was 1830, had a different name. The National was built on top of it, and it was the National at that point, 1850.
Let's talk about the white elephant in the room, because I know, Dominic, you were tuning in on the tunnel underneath the restaurant there. And I know, Chuck, you're on the fence about it. So let's try to figure out what maybe we could come to grips with what's going on there.
Yeah, it's down in the bar area in the Rathskeller. There was when we were standing there, I kept saying, there's a room we don't have access to. And when we went back around, that's when we found where that tunnel was. And, it might not be a tunnel, but it definitely was. That's what I was getting from Spirit.
Right.
And it's a possibility that it was filled in. There might have been a room there at one time and it was filled in and built over. So that that, there's something there. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's definitely something there.
But Spirit was telling you that there was an underground tunnel there.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was picking up was people coming up from Jersey side, going in and then hitting the Delaware to get further north.
I mean, it stands to reason, but I don't know. That's something I think we have to kind of look into a little bit more because Chuck, I don't think you're not on the same page as far as that goes because you've never really heard of a tunnel there, have you?
No, but these buildings that are so old, I mean, they've been used in so many different ways and they just modify them.
That's
I was down in the basement. I mean, that foundation has multiple different types of construction
Oh yeah.
and masonry and different types of material. So yeah, anything could have happened down there.
Dom, it goes right back to where we were in at the Wedgwood Inn. You know, the Wedgwood Inn has the foundation goes back to 1720, but even with McCool's, the underground
Oh
tunnel,
yeah.
that was all caved in there.
Yeah, you were climbed a part of the way into it, but it was all collapsed.
These things have been built on over and over again. So who
Yep.
knows? It could have been filled in. And there was something else you were sensing down there. And what was that all about? There was another energy down there.
The energy that was down there was, I don't even know how to explain it. Everybody being down there the way it is now with the Rathskeller, it's, there's so much energy that's down there that has been used for multiple things. And that's another reason why I think tunnel and why there was a room there. So that's all part of it.
Chuck, when you were saying the railroad came into existence at that point in time, the canal workers were done, man. That was it.
It really took the starch out of the canal, but they were actually still hauling coal into the 20th century. I was really surprised.
That's good.
I guess, they haul it over the summer. It's dirt cheap. No one's in a rush for it. They need it by the winter. So it actually, into the 1930s, I would guess that there was tension between, the boaters and the railroad. I don't know. I'm guessing there
Yeah.
will be in my book, but
Yeah, there you go. I love working with forward-thinking people and Kara, just for her to be able to do this video and let's get the history of this place out to people because again, it's this wonderful venue that's in your own backyard. People are passing by it every day that don't know the rich history of this place. I can't wait to show Kara the rest of this video.
she appreciates it, believe
Yeah.
me. But she is, like you said, busy.
Meeting her was nice to meet her and, just get her feel for everything
Yeah.
was really cool. And plus, like you said, her being on our side, being
Oh, yeah.
willing to do this, phenomenal.
Well, I mean, what she's creating for the town, I mean, the place is immaculate. The food is incredible. So, and it's a really great atmosphere. So, and again, this was, I would say this was more of a historical type, video rather than more of a paranormal video. But although the things that you were tuning in on still need to be explained, the story keeps unfolding.
It does. And we didn't get into all the rooms and, we
Right.
went up to the third floor, but we really didn't go into the rooms up there.
Yeah.
There were guests there and we didn't want to interrupt them, but
Yeah.
there are other rooms that are hot spots that we definitely need to check out.
Well,
Give me some numbers because I'm going to spend another night there at some
ahead,
point
Tom.
in time.
if you find out anything, let us know for sure.
I sure will.
Because I think we're going to have to do 2 words, follow up. I think we're going to have to do another video.
National
Oh, yeah.
Hotel 2.
The return of Chuck Sherrick.
There you go.
Well, listen, guys, I really, really appreciate this. And, we've got a lot more work to do on this in the future. But again, I can't thank you enough, Chuck, for all of your testimony and your time. Really, really appreciate it, man. And good luck with the books and everything, too.
Yeah, thanks.
Dom, I'll see you later, man. Thank you, buddy.
You got it. I'll
All right,
talk to you.
guys. Although we left with more questions than answers, the historic National Hotel in the heart of Frenchtown, New Jersey, remains a cozy destination where friends and loved ones can enjoy an experience that will last a lifetime. Kara and her team welcome you. Plan your visit today. A few weeks later, I couldn't resist. I had to go back, alone. I had to know what was behind that strange feeling Dominic had in the downstairs bar. But as soon as I stepped into the downstairs bar, a silence hit me like nothing I've ever felt before. The air was heavy. I could sense it. What was down here? And why did I come back?